Welcome to this short video on running a life group using Zoom. I happen to have been hosting a life group using Zoom for about 6 months now, and so in this video I will share some of the practical things I've learned so that you can maximize the experience for all of your participants. Now, much of what I'm going to share is true for many kinds of online groups, home groups, courses, online classes and tutorials, so feel free to adapt this information as appropriate. Now, the first thing to say that in order to host a meeting online with Zoom, you'll have to have an account with them. Simply go to zoom.us in your web browser and register for a free account. There are many options of accounts, but you do not need to pay for a pro account for the purposes that I'm describing here. So before we get into the practicalities, let me outline first a few headlines. Number one, the Zoom platform works well for life group meetings, perhaps surprisingly well. Once the group gets used to the slightly different feel of the gathering, the conversation usually flows well and relationships will flourish. Headline 2. To host well, you will need a good broadband connection. The connection doesn't matter as much for the group participants, but the overall experience is enhanced if you as a host have a good connection. Now, there are a number of ways to improve that connection. For example, if your computer is near your broadband router, you might consider connecting your computer and router with a cable rather than wirelessly. But if you're using wireless network connection, as most of us are, make sure that you close down all the programs that are running in the background on your computer and check that your family are not streaming a movie at the same time, and thus you can maximize your internet connection. Headline 3. For a Zoom life group, I would suggest that you plan that an hour is a workable and optimal length of meeting. An online meeting does require a bit more concentration from participants, and I found that around about an hour is optimal. Now, just on a side note here, you'll see that when you sign up for your free Zoom account, the message will come loud and clear that the meeting is limited to 40 minutes. Now, that's true, but when you get to the 40 minutes, you simply, as the host, have to click resume or continue, and the meeting can continue for up to another 40 minutes before the same process. It's more of an inconvenience than a problem. Final headline. It's really helpful if you have a WhatsApp community group for your life group or your online class. Not only does this allow your group to share prayer requests, encouragements and information, but it provides you with a very simple way of letting everybody know the link for your next online meeting. Our group found that email communication was too slow, sometimes missed, and sometimes just simply went to the junk box. So as the host, I send them a link on our WhatsApp every week, usually a couple of days in advance, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute or two. So let's get into some of the practicalities. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to set up a meeting and how to invite people into that meeting through WhatsApp as I've suggested. Now, this next few minutes is an excerpt from some online training I did a few days ago, and so just enjoy this. What I like to do very quickly is show you how to schedule a meeting, and you can see up here on this bar at the top is the schedule a meeting. So let's click in there, and we've got a few options here that we can do. So the first is to give your meeting a really great name, like Life Group. Life group Zoom meeting, there we go, that's what I've used. So that's cool. Then you select the day and time, so I'm going to say that this is tomorrow night and it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. Forget about the duration. Time zone is fine. Here we go now. Meeting ID, I would leave that as generate automatically, because you don't want your personal ID meeting to be used, which means that there'll be a different meeting ID number generated for each meeting. Easy. Okay, require meeting password. I don't do that on these ones. If it was a really private conversation you were having with a couple of people, you might do that. But video host, now these are taking the settings from the settings area, so you shouldn't have to adjust this, but you can. Host on, participant on, both audio, and here we go, we got to do this. Enable join before host yet, and you must select this. Enable waiting rooms and breakout room pre-assign. You can do that or not, but I don't, and I do not record the meeting automatically. And so there we are. I save that meeting, And now, if I look into my meetings button over here, I can see that I've got 2 Zoom meetings. I've got one Wednesday 25th of March at 7:30, and I've got this one here there. Now, I just want to click back in here again. So having set my meeting up, we've got this URL here. I've copied that, Control C, copy. I'm now going to just drop it into my WhatsApp group. So here is my Kingsgate Life group, and very simply just put it in there. And again, with a little bit of text beforehand. Looking forward to our next meeting. There we go. And because I just do that, you can see that that is put into the WhatsApp group, this link, and then they can just click on that and go to the meeting. Okay, so that's WhatsApp for you. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. If you need to find out where any of your meetings are, you just simply go back to your meetings page, and you can see your list of meetings will show up there. Hi, welcome back. So now that everyone knows how to get to your meeting, how should you prepare for your online gathering? Again, a few simple tips from my experience. On the day of your meeting, set up your space and connect online 15 or 20 minutes before the meeting is due to start. This gives you opportunity to check that what you have in the background is reasonably tidy and not too distracting. It gives you opportunity to check your audio and video are working correctly. Just a few tips on the visuals here. Don't have a lamp or bright window behind you. Try and sit with the bright lights either in front of you or to the side. That will improve the video picture that people see. Have your camera at eye level if at all possible. Prop your laptop or device up on a pile of books if necessary. Actually looking up your nose is not a good look, so try and get the camera at eye level. Another practical thing that we've learned is to let participants queue up in the waiting room before the meeting starts. Otherwise, you have to be prepared, if people are coming in one at a time, to go over the same conversation over and over again. Hi, how you doing? And so on. I actually like the buzz of clicking, let the meeting begin, and everybody comes in at the same time. I like the buzz of that. It creates a kind of high energy moment at the beginning of the gathering, and you as the host can build on that as you're going through. So let's talk about running the meeting. Now, of course, like every life group leader, you're coming to your gathering prepared. You've read through the notes and you've got a timetable in mind. Now, as I said, we need to really limit this Zoom group meeting to around about an hour. So typically my timetable runs something like this, and it may guide you through here. 5 minutes at the beginning, when everybody joins in from the waiting room, of a catch up. What's been going on with people? Look out for any new people that might have joined your group, introduce them. Then a further 5 to 7 minutes introducing the theme for your gathering, and if it's a life group, to pray together. And then we go forward to like 30 minutes discussion, or if you were having an online course, I guess that's where you'd show the content of your video. Following that, we have about 10 to 15 minutes in small breakout groups. This is one of the great things about Zoom, is that if you set it up right, you can press a button as a host and send your group of 10, 12, 15, 20 people into small groups for a period of time where they can talk or pray together, whatever it is you plan for them to do. I'm going to talk through how to set up breakup groups just in a second or two. And then finally, in our timetable, we have about 5 minutes altogether when we have a heads up for next week, final greetings and so on. Now, when hosting a meeting on Zoom, you do have to be aware of the differences in the communication between an in-person life group and an online experience. Again, here's a few things that we have learned as we have done this. As a host, I need to be a bit more proactive in asking for input, but I do give people the opportunity to say pass if they would rather not contribute. But be prepared to ask people to participate. So for example, John, what do you think? Mary, you've been quiet for a few minutes. Do you have a view? Paul, you look as if you're fit to burst to say something. So just keep an eye on the videos of the different participants. And as I say, you'll just need to lean into it a bit more and help people participate. If there's someone new in the group, At the beginning, quickly run over a few pointers for them, tell them that you're going to ask them and so on, and ask them to introduce themselves to the group. Finally, here are a few practical things that will help the online meeting run more smoothly and enhance the experience for everyone. Number 1, be aware of where your camera is. Where is your webcam? Is it to the side, or is it right in front of you? So that you can actually look to your camera. Don't look at your screen as much as you're looking at your camera. That draws people into your experience. Secondly, avail yourself of the tools that are built into the Zoom application. Let me again take you to an excerpt from some recent training that I did, particularly looking at 3 helpful tools in the Zoom application. In this short segment, I want to introduce you to 3 tools that you can use to help make the group more fluid and better experience for participants. The first of those tools is you can see in the bottom bar here, is the Share tool. That allows you to share any other application or window that's running on your computer with those in the group. So for example, I quite like to have a scripture that we're going to share during the evening because I've prepared for my life group. I like to have it on a PowerPoint ready, so I've got a PowerPoint show running in the background at the moment, and so simply I go to share. I can see the applications that are running, and here is the PowerPoint with the scripture. I share it, it comes up full screen for everybody in the group. We can read it together, reflect on it or so on, and then when I'm ready to, I can stop that share. If I had another one, I could go to a new share, but I'm going to stop this share. That's tool number 1. Tool number 2 is the chat window. Again, it's a little icon in the bottom bar, the speech bubble. Click that, and usually on the right hand side, a chat window will open. I like to use this again for scripture that we have been talking about during the evening. So there's Psalm 23, for example. So often when our group is in discussion, if someone mentions a particular verse of the Bible that's been helpful to them, I will go behind the scenes, as it were, over to Bible Gateway and cut and paste from there into there. The advantage of that is at the end of the gathering, people can choose to download the chat as a text document so that they can see all the verses that we've been looking at in that evening. So again, I find that is quite useful. Tool number 3 is again on the bottom bar, but only this time if you're a meeting host. Meeting participants don't see this tool. Here it is, the bottom right hand side here, breakout rooms. Now, what happens is that when you click there, you can see the breakout rooms. It shows the number of participants in the meeting. I'm just doing this tutorial, so I haven't got anybody here, but if there were 10 people, it would show 10 participants, and I can choose the number of rooms that I want to put them into. So if I choose 3, if there were 12, it would automatically just split the group into 3 fours. I can manually choose to do so, but if you go automatically in the first instance, you can see this is putting 0 participants per room, but you get the gist. So this is the same kind of window that you'd see. Breakout room 1, and you would see the names in there. Breakout room 2, the names, and then you can move people around those different rooms as you want to. Then in the options, you choose the length of time you want this to go. So if that was 9 minutes, that's great. And set the countdown time. The default is 30 seconds. I like to have slightly longer on there, 120 seconds. So when I click then open all rooms, everybody is sent to those rooms, and after 9 minutes in this setting, they would get a message on screen to say they have 120 seconds to come back to the central meeting room. Now this tool is really useful for things like prayer. So I like our groups to pray in smaller groups, 3s and 4s, and you can use the breakout tool for that. So that's 3 tools that you can use within the Zoom window to help your meeting. Welcome back. I hope you found that helpful. Finally, just to say, when it comes to the end of your meeting and everybody has opportunity just to say goodbye, you have the End Meeting for All button bottom right on your screen. It's best to press that and just end the meeting for everybody at once. So I hope that this video has been helpful to you. I've added a few links below which will provide additional help. First, to a second video in which I walk through the optimum settings for your Zoom account. You access those settings through the setting page on your account page on the Zoom website, zoom.us. And there are some things that you want to switch on and some that you want to switch off amongst the tools there for an optimal experience. I've also included a link to further tutorials on the Zoom website that will take you further in different aspects of using that application. Finally, can I ask that if you found this helpful, would you share the link on your social media, email it to friends who also have to run small groups, see if they can find it helpful. Would you take a moment to subscribe to my channel? Just click below, and that will keep you updated with future videos. So until next time, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful group.